I think the play deals with identity, as we say, largely, I think, through how other people perceive one's identity. So, my character is the one that is the first one to undergo a surgical operation to change the way he looks, and as a result of that, people behave towards him in a fundamentally different way, and he grows to some extent through that, but then there's a lot of confusion as a result of that as well, and the play deals with that. So while the play, I don't think, is really about cosmetic surgery, it's the fact of its existence in the world that begs the question, who are we?
It's really a useful, I mean, is that the right way to phrase it, useful metaphor for a way of uncovering aspects of yourself you're unhappy with, and how you change that, the journey of going on a change to result in some kind of self-acceptance, possibly, as opposed to being a real satire on plastic surgery.
And Michael, you in particular, because you play the part of a man who starts out ugly and becomes beautiful. And have you found, as a result of playing this part, that it's changed your own perception of how we look at people and regard the human form?
Well, yes, I suppose jokingly I've been telling all my friends that I've finally got a title role, and it's in a play called The Ugly One, which is a little bit galling, I have to say. I can only save myself by saying, that he spends 2/3 of the play being beautiful. So I'm sure that's why I was cast.
Exactly.
As to whether I think it does make you look at the world differently, this fact. And you start looking, I've noticed on the tubes, posters and how, body image is presented and how it's used to sell. What is the selling point of each product? And it's often, a glamorous woman or a glamorous man, and which has sort of got nothing to do with the product in a way. But it's how beauty is used to create wealth in some way for the companies that make these things. So in a way, there is a political thing going on in the play, but not in a heavy-handed way, just in a fairly light-handed way.
It feels like it's a light touch.
I think so. You'd only come away from the production, I think, interested in that if you're interested in it from the outset. You could argue it's a political play if you're politically minded, but it is about many things, and it's a very rich textured play, as we said.
And Mark, I spoke to Ramin earlier in the week, and he talked a lot about the open rehearsal process. Well, what exactly is that, and how have you found it?
Well, Ramin's extraordinary because he seems to be a man with very little ego in that regard. He's kept an open rehearsal room in as much that people can come in, friends have been in. My wife turned up yesterday to have a look. Dogs.
Your wife, is that a first?
Well, my wife came to see rehearsals. Yes. Yes, it is.
Will it be repeated?
I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah. But also, it's been great for all of us because we've kind of been able to watch each other and help each other and direct each other in a really positive way. And that doesn't usually happen, does it?
No.
You
feel very much a hierarchy sometimes with the director's vision and everything like that, and you're not pawns within it, so to speak, but sometimes, you feel that you're trying to honour his sole vision, and yet in this process we've all, the designer, the director and all us actors, have really shaped it, and the stage management have shaped it together very much. There's been equal voices.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's very democratic.
Absolutely.
It's kind of necessary in the play. The play itself kind of dictates that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because, I doubt very much that somebody could sit down and have an absolutely clear sort of take on this play. It's, as you said at the beginning, it's slippery and elusive, but yet it's still there, and it's just nailing it, and it takes a lot of opinions and sort of counter-opinions.
Right. So have you found it quite a liberating process then, in that respect?
Exciting. I don't know yet, because I suppose it's not over until we good thing, but it's...
We've had various stages where we come in very kind of confidently doing what we're doing, and then suddenly one person starts to break up about it, and the other person, and then we think, oh no, this isn't working. But I think we're sort of consolidating on something at the moment that feels like we're, that the process is going in the right direction.
Great. And Frank, what do you like most about this play?
Gosh, that's hard. I like the comedy of it, I suppose, most. I like the fact that it is witty, it's sharp, it's funny. It's, for all, as I said, that it has this sort of depth to it and sort of thing. It's got a lightness of touch at the top end of it that will definitely entertain people. And I've no doubt that there will be, it's the sort of thing that you'll talk about. I don't think it's a sort of play you can go in for all that it's like, just say, oh, that was a nice light frothy evening at the theatre. You will have something along that, but also you'll go out and you'll probably think and talk and chat a lot about the whole meaning of identity and your own identity. I mean, it does sort of throw up huge questions, and they're not uncomfortable questions necessarily, they're just interesting questions.
Yeah. Okay, well, I appreciate where you're at in the rehearsal process right now, so I really am grateful for the time you've taken out today just to have this interview. But it's really opened things up even more for me, so hopefully it has for the listeners as well. So thank you all very much indeed.